A golden ball showed up, high in the sky. It had already started to breed the third body. Luo Feng's mind sensed everything in an instant. It succeeded, Luo Feng realized. All the life material has been resolved, and it has started to be bred. Ha ha ha! Masha body guffawed. My third body is meant to be 9 remoteness of the bloody sea, and I'll have boundless godly power in the future. Even if I die, I can be reborn again. This is real immortality. Ow! Golden horned beast roared with thrill. Excellent! Excellent! Luo Feng stood up, beaming. He grabbed Tianqin Emperor and said, Tianqin, drink with me! He even summoned some other Emperor limit slaves, and they started to drink their fill. Luo Feng sensed that it would take over 600 years to breed the third body. The more stable and powerful the internal world was, the easier it was to breed a body, but the stronger the body was, the longer it took for the body to be bred. It had taken Luo Feng over a year to breed the earthling body, while it took him 3 years and 9 months to breed the Masha body. As for the bloody C9 remoteness body, it would take him over 600 years. If Luo Feng didn't choose to swallow the metal to improve his internal world but turned to the 9th level sector lord internal body of the ordinary golden horned beast, it would take him more than 10,000 years. I already expected that it would take such a long time. It's a special life form after all. Luo Feng was overjoyed. He had taken so many risks and tried so many different methods just for his third body. Now that his internal world had finally started to breed it, all it took was cultivation. Only 600 years he could spend the 600 years practicing, and it would be like a blink of an eye. After which, his third body would be finished. I'll go to the ancestral god school. I'll need to study law comprehension in the coming 600 years. Being undying isn't difficult for me, but it'll take a lot of effort to be a universe knight. Luo Feng knew clearly that he could only fully comprehend the teleportation part of his space law. As for space strangle and space seal, he could only comprehend a small portion of it. The complete space law required the combination of all 3 parts. Countless peerless talents comprehended all 3 but had been stuck at the last step for an eternity like True Yen Emperor, Shu Chong Emperor, and Bark Mirror Emperor. Luo Feng couldn't underestimate it. The more I accumulate, the more beneficial it is for a breakthrough. Besides, I've fully comprehended the 3rd chapter, which means I need to create the 3rd move from Moon Policy and Star Map. Luo Feng realized he had lots of things to do. After drinking, Luo Feng told Primal Chaos City Leader what happened. Primal Chaos City Leader was thrilled to know that Luo Feng didn't use his favor and had started to breed his third body. Haha! Primal Chaos City Leader said. Even though the powerful universe masters close to the Ancestral God School are the leaders of different streams of the sub-organization of Ancestral God School, they only belong to the sub-organization. This 9 remoteness he's lived so long that he thinks competing with the other old guys is fun. Luo Feng, work hard. Since you're so valued by the Ancestral God School, you might get some true treasures in the future. Think about Shu Chong Emperor who obtained 2. Take anything you can when the time comes. Yes, teacher, Luo Feng answered. On the same day, Luo Feng's original earthling body left Primal's secret region and arrived at Bohemia Island through God Country transportation. Luo Feng gathered with his teacher True Yen Knight, and some of his friends like Thousand Rain Emperor, Cha Man Emperor, and Lily Emperor after being back to Bohemia Island, and the news spread. Blade River Emperor is back. Blade River Emperor is back from 9 remoteness space. Were Blade River Emperor's true treasures left at the central place where 9 remoteness whirlpool leads to? They have to be. Even universe knights aren't likely to survive that place. Blade River Emperor must have revived himself using his clone technique. But I can't sense Blade River Emperor's sector lord aura. Same. I saw Blade River Emperor too, but I didn't sense his sector lord aura. I think Blade River Emperor still has his true treasures. How is it possible? Even universe knights can't survive that place. I think either Blade River Emperor has become undying or he got a new true treasure. New true treasure? Humans are a peak race. Those lower tier true treasures might be attracted to ordinary races, but they are just ordinary to humans, and they have an abundant number of them. The news spread like wildfire through the open-air square in the world of glory, and Bark Mirror Emperor knew it, too. In the palace, Bark Mirror Emperor's godly body had fully recovered. However, he looked colder and crueler. He was innately gloomy and ferocious, even more so after being crushed by True Yen Knight. No sector lord aura? Bark Mirror Emperor clenched his teeth. Did he become undying or get a new true treasure? I'll kill him directly if he's undying. I'm a noble and powerful special life form. If he has a new true treasure, then I'll take it by force. Blade River Emperor, True Yen Knight. I'll have my revenge. Luo Feng sat in his palace and started practicing after spending quality time with his teacher and friends. In spite of the spreading rumors outside, Luo Feng felt the mountain quivering right after he landed on its top, even before he moved. He was bewildered. Was this the sign that the treasure was opening? The mountain kept trembling more and more fiercely. The heirs who had been chatting casually or looking for treasures all shot up and looked toward the mountain Luo Feng stood on. Soon, the sky was filled with heirs from all races in every direction. The treasure! The treasure will be opened! He opened the treasure! Bark Mirror Emperor flew up too. Impossible! He opened his golden eyes wide and saw that there were 7 heirs on the trembling mountain, including Luo Feng. It has to be one of the other 6 heirs. It has to be! He hated Blade River Emperor from the bottom of his heart and was not willing to see him get the valuable. It was the 106th tallest mountain. Although it was only ranked 106th, it was still one of the top 108 valuables, and each was as valuable as a true treasure. Even the lower-ranked valuables were a match for most average true treasures. Bark Mirror Emperor only had one ordinary true treasure and refused to believe that Blade River Emperor could also get one. Unfortunately for Bark Mirror Emperor, that wasn't his decision. The other heirs standing on the mountain were thrilled. The valuable! It's the valuable! The mountain has started to tremble. The treasure will be opened. It's me! I just touched this tree. I must have triggered it. No, it's me! I triggered the valuable! The heirs were all excited and nervous. Even though they all knew that the mountain had only trembled after Blade River Emperor landed on it, they still held out hope that it could be one of them. They wouldn't give up, as long as there was even a slight trace of hope. After all, this was one of the top 108 valuables. Hua! 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 The 5-colored aurora lake was right above the mountain, and suddenly, thousands of auroras started to swirl like whirlpools. Shio! 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 Thousands of auroras dropped from the sky, each of them more than 6,000 miles long, and comprised of 5 colors. They dove like meteors and enveloped the mountain, instantly separating it from the outside world like an impossibly massive bead curtain. The heirs felt an upwelling of emotions looking at the magnificent scene. Breathtaking. The thousands of auroras bore incredibly energy. Just a few of them was all it would take to kill a universe knight. It was, after all, the guarding true treasure of the first power of the universe, and also the most powerful true treasure in the universe. The heirs continued to argue with one another. It's mine! The valuable is mine! The aurora shrouded the entire mountain, together with the heirs standing on the top and hillside. Suddenly, strong forces swept across them, teleporting them outside the veil. No, no! It's mine! The heirs from other races complained. Outside the veil, the many onlookers speculated the implications of the scene. Who opened the valuable? It has to be Blade River Emperor. I saw him land on the mountain. There are lots of heirs on the mountain, and some are on the hillside. Perhaps it's a valuable hidden at the hillside. They were engaged in a heated debate when they saw one creature after another, large or small, covered with scales, transparent, or liquid alike, were kicked out by the 5-colored aurora lake. Who triggered the valuable? They're all kicked out. All of us? It's Blade River Emperor. He's the only one still there. The heirs who got out grudgingly looked at each other, confirming that only Blade River Emperor was still there. Those watching from afar started to search for Blade River Emperor, but they couldn't find him. They knew instantly that he was the one who had triggered the valuable. Bark Mirror Emperor clenched his teeth and showed his fangs, watching furiously. But what could he do? The heirs beside him looked at each other but didn't dare to make a sound, as they knew that Bark Mirror Emperor was infuriated. Beishan Knight looked at Bark Mirror Emperor afar and cursed him. Imbecile! An idiotic, crazy, ferocious beast with no intelligence. Ferocious beasts were creatures in the universe with great power but limited intelligence. Even though Luo Feng couldn't see anything happening outside, he could guess what was happening. He smiled, feeling the mountain tremble under his feet. It's me who gets the valuable. He had heard about the scene when a valuable within the land of valuables was triggered. Some of the supreme beings in the ancestral god school had designed specific conditions for unlocking the valuables hidden there, and those conditions were managed by the 5-colored aurora lake. It monitored everything it covered, and every move by the heirs was under careful surveillance. For instance, when Luo Feng was assassinated and revived, he had the apparent aura of a sector lord. 5-colored Aurora Lake would then record information that he was a sector lord with clone technique, and the attributes were automatically collected and processed by the lake. Once the attributes matched the conditions of a certain valuable, it would reveal that valuable if a qualifying heir arrived at its location. However, for the sake of confidentiality, it would blockade the area where the valuable was hidden to make sure that only the valuable contributor, the valuable opener, and the 5-color Aurora Lake knew what the valuable was. When Seven-Blade Emperor had gotten a valuable, nobody had known what valuable he had acquired. There was only one object in the world ring, an ancient ship. It was 75,000 miles long and 19,000 miles wide. Shining with silver light, the ship looked more like a seagoing warship than a spaceship. What is it? Luo Feng snuck his spiritual force into the ancient ship and merged a trace of spirit imprint into the ship. All of a sudden, a great amount of information flooded his mind, which amazed him. Luo Feng reached out his hand. So, a flash of silver flight flew out and fell into his palm. It was an ancient ship the size of a glass marble. It is the flying palace-type treasure! Luo Feng's eyes were blazing, and he gazed at the ancient ship with excitement. It's only a top-tier treasure, but it's believed to be as precious as a true treasure. No wonder it's a flying palace type, and there are definitely great beings willing to trade it with a true treasure. Luo Feng instantly knew everything about the ancient ship. It was called Silver Dragon Phantom Ship, and it was a top-tier treasure and functioned like Sky Wolf Palace. It would protect the user as long as he was inside the ship. Unless the enemy destroyed the ship, a material attack would be rendered almost useless, and a soul attack would also be significantly weakened. If Luo Feng had this ship when he was hunted by Bark Mirror Emperor, he couldn't be hurt by Bark Mirror Emperor as long as he hid inside the ship, and he could get rid of Bark Mirror Emperor with the ship. Similarly, Master of Sky Wolf had escaped the dreadful attack that came from entire Burning 9 Remoteness Ocean with the help of his Sky Wolf Palace. Armor can only weaken a small portion of material attacks and soul attacks, Luo Feng said, his eyes gleaming. But this Silver Dragon Phantom Ship is enormous, and staying inside is like being protected by a huge fortress. It's better even than the most expensive godly base of the automaton race. Though Silver Dragon Phantom Ship couldn't change its direction flexibly, it was incredibly speedy, running on a straight line, and had mighty defending power. Haha! This is a top-tier treasure. Universe Knights definitely won't be able to destroy it. As for Universe Masters, even they might need to use significant energies to damage a top-tier treasure. Luo Feng was overjoyed. Inside the Silver Dragon Phantom Ship, together with his Tower Pearl to protect his soul, once he became undying, Luo Feng couldn't help grinning. Of course, a valuable needed adequate power to be utilized. Otherwise, it would be taken by a supreme being if the user couldn't drive the ancient ship fast enough. I can use this Silver Dragon Phantom Ship once I become undying. Luo Feng nodded. When I become much stronger in the future and able to drive Star Tower, that will be my trump card. After that, this Silver Dragon Phantom Ship will be my vehicle only on the surface. Silver Dragon Phantom Ship sounds redundant, I'll just call you Galaxy. Luo Feng named it after its aura of silver light, glimmering like the stars in the galaxy. Treasures all had their own original names, but most of them sounded redundant. Purple Clock was one such example. Its original name was Demon Note Flame God Clock, but Luo Feng called it Purple Clock instead. Galaxy, you'll be my partner until I can drive Star Tower, Luo Feng thought, looking at the ancient ship in his hand. It had been 500 years since Luo Feng came back from 9 Remoteness Space. In the land of valuables of the Ancestral God School, the end of the mountain range was not visible. Mountains stood shoulder to shoulder. Some of them were towering, and some were precipitous. There were lakes of all sizes between the mountains. A fighter stood using his snake tail to wipe clean the rock behind him. I haven't seen a new valuable for a long time. They say there are countless valuables here. It wouldn't make sense if valuables showed up all the time. No matter how many valuables there are, they will be gone in the end. It's boring if the valuables don't appear. Valuables coming into sight, that view is thrilling. Expectation flashed through the triangular eyes of the snake-tailed other race. I really hope that view is for me. Haha! Someone laughed all of a sudden. You've been here tens of millions of times. Stop dreaming. It's Blade River Emperor, said a nearby heir. Blade River Emperor is here, another replied. Blade River hasn't shown up after coming back from 9 remoteness space. The first place he chose to land is in the land of valuables. Where is he? Where is Blade River Emperor? Many heirs were looking in all directions, some even flew up in the sky, and soon, they all turned in the same direction. A silver-armored human youngster was flying directly to the tallest mountain in the land of valuables. Luo Feng looked around and rejoiced in his heart. Looks like I'm famous among the heirs of Ancestral God's School. What made Luo Feng overjoyed was the progress he had made in the past 500 years, especially the maturing of his third body. It'll take around 100 more years for my third body to mature, after which I can become undying. I need to come here before turning into an undying fighter. Luo Feng glanced at the mountain range where there were innumerable valuables. I'm a Sector Lord now. Perhaps some Supreme Beings prepared valuables for Sector Lord level heirs. If I become undying, I won't be able to take them anymore. So, his first target was the tallest of the mountains. Each of the 108 mountains stored one of the most precious of 108 valuables, and only 42 of them had been acquired by heirs. The others were still waiting for the suitable heirs. Look, Blade River Emperor went to the tallest mountains. It seems Blade River Emperor came here for valuables too. He came here once before, and after confronting Beishan Knight, he left instantly without taking a proper tour around the land of valuables. I thought he wasn't interested in this place. Finally, he came. 108 most precious valuables are equally distributed among the 108 tallest mountains in the land of valuables. And his first target is the tallest one. He's ambitious. Among the great beings of other races standing afar, some were jealous of or even hostile against Luo Feng. With a loud snort, a figure with golden hair and eyes walked out from the apex of a mountain. His back was slightly bent, giving him the appearance of an aggressive beast. Bark Mirror Emperor. Bark Mirror Emperor, do you think Blade River Emperor can get a valuable? Asked an heir. He's targeting the highest mountain. Several heirs beside him said. Bark Mirror Emperor smirked. The valuables on the highest mountains have been here ever since the Ancestral God's School was founded. Rumor has it that they were placed by one of the Ancestral Gods. A few Sector Lord level special life forms throughout the history have tried, but none of them could get a valuable. As for Blade River Emperor, he's so unqualified for the land of valuables. The heirs around him nodded. Bark Mirror Emperor, came a voice from a towering figure. Bark Mirror Emperor followed the direction of the voice and spotted Beishan Knight. Beishan Knight glanced at Luo Feng afar first, then said, Blade River Emperor has disappeared for so many years. And now, the first place he goes is the land of valuables. It seems he really wants a valuable. I think his efforts will be in vain. Begone! Bark Mirror Emperor suddenly shouted. Beishan Knight's eye went wide in surprise. Humph! Do you think you can be my ally just because both of us hold grudges against that Blade River Emperor? You damn one-eyed thing who bullied an undying heir from my Northern Territory Alliance! Get the hell away from me! Bark Mirror Emperor showed his fangs and stared at Beishan Knight coldly. Beishan Knight's body trembled with anger. He was a Universe Knight who had heard that Bark Mirror Emperor was ruthless, greedy, and unapproachable, which was why he hadn't approached him until now. Now that there was a feud between Bark Mirror Emperor and Blade River Emperor, he thought they could be closer because of their commonality. He was willing to become friends with Bark Mirror Emperor, who was already his equal. Once Bark Mirror Emperor became a Universe Knight, he could become a Universe Overlord with some proper training very soon. But Bark Mirror Emperor clearly did not share this sentiment. Okay, said Beishan Knight, so furious that his face was twitching. Bark Mirror Emperor, how ruthless you are! Bark Mirror Emperor clenched his teeth, snorted, and flew away. Bark Mirror Emperor simmered. Just who does he think he is? The heirs around him gazed at each other with dismay. Heirs like Bark Mirror Emperor and Zhu Chong Emperor were so powerful that they didn't need to respect Universe Knights. There were differences between Universe Knights. Those who were Universe Overlords could crush Bark Mirror Emperor without any problem. Even Bark Mirror Emperor and Zhu Chong Emperor needed proper training to become Universe Overlords after becoming Universe Knights. Without a doubt, these special life forms whose life levels were thousands of times higher than ordinary life forms had great potential to become Universe Overlords, which was why the top superpowers like the Northern Territory Alliance and the Ancestral God School all valued special life forms and even gave them true treasures. Luo Feng didn't see the confrontation between Bark Mirror Emperor and Beishan Knight. He landed on the tallest of the mountains. "The tallest mountain means the most precious valuable," he said. "Rumor has it that an ancestral god put the valuable here personally." Luo Feng stood on the top of the mountain and walked around, but nothing happened. The rule said the valuable would show itself if an heir was qualified and stood on the mountain. If there was no change, Luo Feng was not qualified. He had failed. The heirs standing afar began to gossip about what they had just seen. As for Bark Mirror Emperor, he had a rare smile on his face. "It is 90% possible that Blade River Emperor is Luo Feng," he muttered. "Luo Feng is True Yan's disciple." Bark Mirror Emperor snorted and stared at Luo Feng. Although he had hunted Luo Feng before, he wasn't quite as belligerent now as he had been. He had, after all, almost been killed by True Yan Knight. That encounter was the closest he had ever been to death. Bark Mirror Emperor was infuriated. He hated True Yan Knight and swore that he would kill True Yan once he became a Universe Knight. Blade River Emperor was likely to be a disciple of True Yan, who went after him to avenge Blade River Emperor, which made Bark Mirror Emperor antagonistic against Blade River Emperor. 2. True Yan. Blade River. Bark Mirror said the two names in a low voice. "Bark Mirror Emperor," an heir called out. Blade River Emperor failed again. This time, he went to the second tallest mountain, and he stopped by other mountains and lakes. Nothing happened. He arrived at the second tallest mountain. Ha! Nothing happened at all. The heirs kept talking. Bark Mirror Emperor smiled more and more broadly. He said, "It's not that easy to get a valuable. The most precious 108 valuables here have been attracting heirs since the beginning of the universe, and only 42 of them have been taken. On average, the time elapsed between two valuables being taken is practically an eternity. The conditions are harsh. One mountain after another, one lake after another. Luo Feng kept flying and landing, failed. Luo Feng failed again and again, from the tallest mountain to the 60th tallest mountain. He also stopped by lots of other places along the route, which took him tens of hours. Meanwhile, undying fighters watched while drinking glasses of wine. "It's so difficult to open a valuable," Luo Feng said. However, he did not panic. He had come here, after all, simply to try. "It seems lots of other races hate me." Luo Feng flew to a canyon and glanced at the onlookers afar. In the past tens of hours he had been watched. Most of the heirs were just watching him try for fun, while some were actually jealous or hostile toward him. In fact, most weren't hostile toward Luo Feng personally. Instead, they were hostile toward the whole human race. The human race was a peak race in the universe and had committed countless massacres in the universe. Other races wanted to kill them. Humans were ruthless when it came to killing other races, and generation after generation, many races had learned to loathe humans. The peak races became peak races through killing. You can't be a peak race if you're merciful. You need resources to become a peak race, and you need to kill to get the resources. This was what True Yan had told Luo Feng once when they were drinking together. Presently, Luo Feng spotted some other races flying toward him, cursing the human race. However, Luo Feng just sneered. Those who were not his kin were sure to be of a different heart. Everyone was fighting for their own race, and there was no right or wrong. Humans needed to kill or enslave a plethora of animals to survive on Earth. If humans were not pitiless enough, they might have been killed off by those other animals. The same rule applied. Luo Feng had such a strong will that he disregarded all the curses. This is the universe. The weak are the prey of the strong. Luo Feng arrived at the 106th tallest mountain. He didn't have much hope by now. However, just as Luo Feng landed on the 106th tallest mountain, long, the entire mountain started to quiver, which attracted the attention of all the heirs present. Suddenly, hustle and bustle filled the land of valuables. Luo Feng waved his hands, and the ancient ship Galaxy merged into the skin of his arm. "I got all my spaceships from the emperors, but I already feel that they're inadequate. My original plan was to get a better spaceship after becoming undying, but this ancient ship Galaxy that can rival a true treasure is better than any spaceship built by humans or the automaton race." Luo Feng was overjoyed. "Xiao!" A trace of shrinking aurora flew towards Luo Feng. This startled him, as the Universe Knight who had tried to assassinate him had been easily killed by the aurora. Luo Feng tried to dodge it, but the surrounding space seemed to be sealed, making it difficult for Luo Feng to move. The aurora touched Luo Feng gently. "Ha!" Luo Feng stood on the ground, dazed. "Hong!" The rocks that had begun to float when the treasure was revealed suddenly dropped back down into the hole, and the mountain reverted back to how it was originally. The thousands of auroras shrouding the mountain from sight shot up and flew back to the 5-colored aurora lake. The heirs watching the scene from afar were all guessing, but none of them could see anything. Look, Blade River Emperor seems to be stupefied. Because he was amazed. A defending true treasure? An attacking true treasure? A treasure to recover his godly body? Luo Feng glanced around, then teleported himself to a canyon in a remote part of the land of valuables. It was silent in the canyon. Luo Feng stayed there alone and whispered, "Wine Master?" The moment the aurora touched his head, he received some information, a message from the valuables contributor to the future inheritor of the valuable. He heard a voice passing along the message. "I don't belong to any race, and I've been all alone since the beginning of the universe. The only friend I have is Crane Knight, but Crane is blessed with good luck. I don't know who I should give my valuables to that are no longer of any use to me. Since the ancestral god school set up a land of valuables, I'll leave this silver dragon phantom ship to my juniors. The conditions are, a sector lord who wins over 1,000 challenges and completes the 3rd level beast god inheritance. If you can satisfy those conditions, you're a true talent of your time. Remember, it was Wine Master who gave you the valuable." Ha! It was a plain and simple message. Luo Feng immediately realized that it was a universe master who had given him the valuable, but his title was a bit bizarre. Wine Master? Wine is his title? Luo Feng was confused. He immediately connected to the virtual universe with his mind. Now that he had high access authority, he could search for lots of secrets in the universe. In the virtual universe. In front of the desk, Luo Feng looked at the laptop screen, searching for Wine Master. Schwa. There was only a single entry. Luo Feng clicked it. Wine Master, an inborn beast god, and a wind and time beast god. He was a unique life in the universe and was born to be a beast god. He called himself Riding Wind. He was obsessed with drinking, and thus other supreme beings in the universe gave him the title Wine. He was one of the first beast gods of the ancestral god school. Deceased. Luo Feng was shocked by the message. This Wine Master was an inborn beast god. There were inborn beast gods and learned beast gods. The latter were those who completed the comprehension of the beast god path and inherited the beast god position, and these were the ordinary beast gods. Yet there were some creatures who were innately universe masters at the beginning of the universe, and they themselves were the beast god, manifestation of fusion laws. Deceased? The voice echoed in Luo Feng's ears. Remember, it was Wine Master who left you the valuable. Ha! Such a supreme being deceased. Luo Feng couldn't help but sigh. An alcoholic inborn beast god. Luo Feng could imagine the scene: an inborn beast god carrying a huge wine jar, standing on the ancient ship. Alcoholic, Luo Feng murmured. Now that you left me a valuable, I'll certainly pay you back if I have the opportunity. An inborn beast god, alcoholic, wine master, called himself Riding Wind. Luo Feng had a favorable impression of the fallen wine master even though he'd never seen him. Unfortunately, the inborn beast god had been born when the universe first came into being. Perhaps he was older than Primal Chaos City leader and Gigantic Axe founder. He had been one of the earliest beast gods of the ancestral god school, and he had fallen a long time ago. Even the powerful universe masters can fall, Luo Feng thought. Like the universe supreme masters. If they're willing to pay the price to kill a universe master, most of them can't survive it, except those like Primal Chaos City leader and 9 Remoteness Master, who have extraordinary skills. Primal Chaos City leader was invincible and the Primal Universe 9 Remoteness Master was undefeatable in 9 Remoteness Ocean. Luo Feng rejoiced at the choice of his third body. After lamenting the death of Wine Master in the remote cave in the land of valuables, he was soon found by other heirs. He was calm and frank, and he continued touring land of valuables. The bottom line for him was to tour the land of valuables thoroughly because he might obtain some other valuables. Most of his will was practicing in the virtual universe, and thus searching for valuables didn't consume much energy. Half an hour after he obtained Ancient Ship Galaxy, a shadow flew towards him. Blade River, Blade River! Luo Feng lifted his head and saw Thousand Rain Emperor. Thousand Rain Emperor! Luo Feng nodded with a smile. Congratulations! Thousand Rain Emperor said excitedly. I just entered the world of glory and heard that you got one of the 108 valuables. Congratulations! It's no big deal. Luo Feng grinned. Where are the others? True Yin Knight has prepared a celebration meal for you, Thousand Rain Emperor said. Shaman Emperor and the others are all there. True Yin Knight asked me to invite you. The knight said that getting one of the 108 valuables from the ancestral god school will be remembered forever, so we need to formally celebrate your achievement. That's why I was asked to invite you. Luo Feng was dazed, then smiled. Teacher True Yin had prepared a celebration meal. Well, I had planned to fly around for a bit longer. Luo Feng looked at the land of valuables. But it seems I'll have to come another time. Fly around? For what? Thousand Rain Emperor was confused. There's nothing to fly around for. You've got a valuable, haven't you? Perhaps I can trigger a second valuable, said Luo Feng. Impossible. As long as you open the first valuable, you can't trigger a second one, Thousand Rain Emperor said. This has been the law ever since the ancestral god school established land of valuables. Luo Feng blinked his eyes. Although he had asked Shaman Emperor about the details of the land of valuables, he only knew the basics when the land of valuables was opened. He didn't know whether he could open a second valuable. I wouldn't lie to you, Thousand Rain Emperor said. Let's go. Fortunately, you've only been here for a short while. If you wander around here much longer, many heirs from other races will figure out that you're trying to trigger other valuables and will secretly laugh at you. Luo Feng looked around. The heirs in the distance were still amazed by the opening of the valuable half an hour ago. After all, since the birth of the universe, only 42 of the 108 valuables had been opened, 43 including the one opened today. The heirs were conversing with each other and only glanced at Luo Feng once in a while. Most of them looked envious or jealous. No one looked greedy except those great beings from races hostile to the human race. Power and status should match valuables. A star traveler level small fry getting a true treasure was like committing suicide. Even for a powerful sector lord like Luo Feng couldn't make it public knowledge that he owned the true treasure Shi Wu Wing, given to him by Primal Chaos City leader. Otherwise, he would be in trouble. However, it was different for him now. Luo Feng had proven his capabilities by surviving Bark Mirror Emperor and Mud Swallowing Knight. Only a few would dare to try to take the valuables Luo Feng was carrying. After all, it was not worth risking lives for an unknown valuable. When I first stepped off Earth, I was so careful, as even a spaceship of the automaton race would bring me disaster. Luo Feng shook his head and sighed. Now, he had several true treasures, but almost nobody dared to attack him. Bark Mirror Emperor's face twitched. He bared his fangs as he watched Luo Feng and Thousand Rain Emperor leave. The heirs standing beside him knew that Bark Mirror Emperor was furious. Damn it! Goddamn human! Bark Mirror was exasperated. This is pure luck. When the time comes, I'll show you that power is everything. Next time, there'll be no 9 remoteness whirlpool for you to hide in. He hated True Yen and Blade River Emperor. Now, he was full of grievances seeing Blade River Emperor obtaining one of the top 108 valuables. Bark Mirror Emperor, a green-tongued creature said. The reason this Blade River Emperor can kill Emperor Limits as a sector lord has to be the special power of the valuables he gained outside. However, with his power growing, the valuables become less useful. When he becomes undying, those valuables won't be that helpful anymore. No matter what, he's just a human with a low life level. He can in no way compare with special life forms like you and Zhu Chong Emperor when he becomes undying. You're right! Bark Mirror Emperor's eyes gleamed with satisfaction. He's just a human. Bark Mirror Emperor licked his fangs and looked in Luo Feng's direction. His life level is just so low. Could it be possible that he can be so forceful with his valuables forever? My life level is 1,000 times higher than him even if he becomes undying. Killing him will be as easy as destroying a star. Bark Mirror Emperor was correct. Valuables couldn't help someone forever. A powerful true treasure like Star Tower required amazingly great power to drive completely, which meant treasures without strength meant nothing. As for things like Famo Poison, they were useless in a fight at the Universe Night level. Even the Golden Armor Golden Horn Beast War was destroyed completely under a strike from Bark Mirror Emperor's burning godly body. Things like General Armors, Golden Armors, and Famo Venom, which had helped Luo Feng a great deal, were either eliminated or significantly weakened. After the celebration meal, Primal Chaos City leader summoned Luo Feng. At the apex of Thunder Island in the virtual universe, Primal Chaos City leader was looking down at Thunder Island in the towering palace enveloped by boundless haze. Luo Feng showed up and gave a salutation. Teacher. Primal Chaos City leader turned around and looked at Luo Feng with his brooding eyes. He smiled and said, "You got one of the 108 valuables?" "Yes," said Luo Feng. "It's a top-tier flying palace-type treasure. It's called Silver Dragon Phantom Ship." Silver Dragon Phantom Ship? He thought in silence for a while but couldn't recall that valuable. He continued, "You're lucky to have a flying palace type because it's rare and precious. Flying palace type top-tier treasures might be more highly desired by universe knights than the sure wooing I gave you." Luo Feng nodded, as he had thought that too. "Who left it there?" Primal Chaos City leader asked him. "Wine Master," Luo Feng said. "I've searched for him online, and know he was one of the earliest beast gods of the Ancestral God School." "Wine Master? Riding Wind?" Primal Chaos City leader broke into laughter. "Now I know it! It's his wine ship! That Wine Master was a very interesting universe master, and he was unbelievably powerful as an inborn beast god. Unfortunately, inborn beast gods are destined to be hunted, and that's why." Primal Chaos City leader sulked. Luo Feng was startled. Inborn beast gods were destined to be hunted? He couldn't help recalling the ancient picture he had previously seen in Blood River World. There had been a supreme being fighting the beast god in Blood River World, and that beast god seemed to have fallen. Why were they hunted? Luo Feng couldn't help asking. Primal Chaos City leader glanced at Luo Feng and answered calmly. Inborn beast gods are different from the learned ones. They were born out of the essence of the universe, which made them unnatural valuable. Their scales, furs, and blood, every part of their bodies had amazing effects and were more precious than several thousand of or even 10,000 ordinary true treasures. Hunting an inborn beast god was a feast where lots of supreme beings joined. Luo Feng was shocked. Their bodies? Every part, for resources and for opportunities. Primal Chaos City leader said, "There are many different ways to compete. Malice, and thus killings among different races in the universe were a form of competition. Yet the Ancestral God School, who claimed not to favor any faction or occupy any territory, practices a different type of competition. It may appear not to be involved in competition on the surface, but it has reached another level of it." Luo Feng nodded. As an old saying went in wuxia, only by giving up the competition can a man find no competitors in the world. Finding no competitors in the world required a great amount of power and influence. For instance, the Ancestral God School couldn't reach a higher level of competition without its 3 ancestral gods and its neutrality policy. And that was how it could attract countless talent fighters from all the races in the universe through inheritance tokens. At the same time, other races were willing to send their talented fighters within their races to the Ancestral God School for training, as they knew the Ancestral God School didn't compete, at least superficially. That was how the Ancestral God School had become the #1 power in the universe. They're all competing with each other. Primal Chaos City leader said, "Ever since the first time an inborn beast god died, all the races in the universe knew the majestic functions of a dead inborn beast god. From then on, all the other inborn beast gods were hunted. No matter how powerful they are, unless they hide forever, they will fall under intensive attacks." Primal Chaos City leader looked at Luo Feng. "Like the Blood River crystals you're using. Those came from an inborn beast god." Luo Feng's heart skipped a beat. The one who had died in Blood River World was indeed an inborn beast god. Remember, the weak are the prey of the strong. Primal Chaos City leader stared at Luo Feng. "That is the law of the strong. You are one of another race to all the other races in the universe, and nobody will pity you. The only thing eternal is competition, the fight. All you must do is gain resources continuously to make yourself stronger. If you're stronger, your race is stronger. The strength of a race is determined by the most senior group, and each member of that group is a pillar of the race. You're quite likely to become a pillar of our human race." Luo Feng nodded. "Before you become undying, merge with that Blood River crystal completely," Primal Chaos City leader said. "It can help you improve your life gene level. You're a black warrior. You're likely to improve your life gene level to 100 times stronger than a universe ordinary life." 100 times? Luo Feng asked. The life gene level of his original Earthling body was already 48 times stronger since Luo Feng started practicing the 9-volume manual. If he used the power of Blood River, it would hit 480 times. It was already a major universe special life form. 100 times is the limit, Primal Chaos City leader said. Body strength and amplification 100 times is their limit. And it's the same for soul amplification and life gene level. This is part of the universe's rule, just as light speed is the fastest one can travel in the original universe. Luo Feng held his breath. Both body strength amplification and soul spirit amplification were extremely rare. Luo Feng only had 32 times soul amplification after receiving Demon Note General Inheritance, which was soul spirit amplification technique. As for body strength amplification, Luo Feng hadn't had such luck. The limit is 100 times? Luo Feng murmured. That's right, 100 times. However, his original earthling body was already 480 times stronger, and his golden horn beast body was over 1,000 times stronger. Are there any other ways to improve the life gene level more than 100 times? Luo Feng asked. Yes, said Primal Chaos City Leader. What is it? Asked Luo Feng. Soul transfer, Primal Chaos City Leader answered. You do soul transfer on a special organism, and once that's completed, you'll have the body of a special life, just with a different soul. Though some soul-related talent techniques will disappear, those body-related talent techniques and life gene levels can both be inherited. But it is difficult. First of all, undying fighters' life imprints are merged with each of their cell fragments, and if you destroy their life imprints, you effectively destroy their entire godly body. That is why you can only do soul transfer on creatures beneath the undying level. Besides, if I'm a sector lord trying to do soul transfer on a universe level special life form, it'll be easier to defeat him than to transfer his soul. Even if you try to transfer his soul, my sector lord's soul will be a huge burden to the body, and it will be crushed if the body can't withhold it. Luo Feng nodded. He knew that souls and bodies had to match each other. For humans, in general, their bodies needed to be at level 7 Sector Lord to hold level 9 Sector Lord human souls. Otherwise, the bodies would be crushed. You need to find a special life form whose body can withhold your soul, Primal Chaos City Leader explained. But if his body is capable of doing that, it means that special life form is your match. And together with his talent techniques, chances are that you'll be killed by him. Besides, Sector Lord level special life forms hardly leave the secret region of the universe, and even if you can meet and defeat them, they'd rather self-destruct than have soul transfer done to them. In short, doing soul transfer on special life forms is highly beneficial, but it's difficult to succeed. Only a few have succeeded so far. Are there any other ways? Luo Feng asked. Those like you who have clone techniques can breed a special organism body, Primal Chaos City Leader said. Of course, the downside is that a special organism that can be bred is generally one of the weak ones. Luo Feng nodded. Yes. He couldn't breed a world tree. He had Golden Horn Beast's internal world. It swallowed a huge amount of metal to form a gigantic internal world, but it could only breed a body with a life level hundreds of times higher. In short, there are lots of ways to accomplish it, and it often needs special organisms, said Primal Chaos City Leader. Any other ways? Luo Feng asked again. No, there are not. Primal Chaos City Leader shook his head. However, he hesitated and added, of course, there are hundreds of millions of races in the universe, and there are some supreme beings. Some secrets remained undiscovered. Perhaps there are some methods even I don't know of. However, I can be sure of one thing. It's a fair universe. Even if there are some secret, extraordinary methods, they'll surely cost a lot. Luo Feng nodded. That was right. The 9-volume manual was created by the Universe Supreme Masters xianxia, who devoted all his time and energy and created the invaluable Sky Soul Crystal to bear it, and only after that could it be inherited. Even so, only one creature could obtain the information of the 9-volume manual. It could be seen how demanding the universe rule was. Primal Chaos City Leader smiled. Don't overthink it. 100 times was the limit. It's already rare to be 100 times stronger. Lots of universe knights only improve their life gene level 10 times. As for you, you're a black warrior, and you're already at 10 times. You can improve it a great deal with beast god blood in the future. Luo Feng nodded. He also planned to merge with blood river crystals before becoming undying. Thus, his godly body could reach a supreme level after becoming undying. Go, said Primal Chaos City Leader. If you need beast god blood, you can apply for the resource through the Virtual Universe Company. Yes. Luo Feng gave a salutation and left. In the palace of Primal's secret region, Ma Shabadi sat with his legs crossed, and in the internal world, Golden Horn Beast started to merge blood river crystals again.